Welcome to Human Rights Asia Weekly Roundup. In this week's program, we focus on land rights in Burma. Farmers in Burma imprisoned for trespassing on their own land. Also in this program, an extremist mob in Pakistan kills Ahmadi women and children. Buddhist monks attack civil society meeting in Sri Lanka. Welcome to Human Rights Asia Weekly Roundup. I'm Jessica Fernando. 65 farmers in Burma have been imprisoned without a proper trial for plowing their own fields after the military illegally took over their land. Nearly 400 other farmers are at risk of the same fate. This miscarriage of justice continues because, in the words of a Kambalu township judge, the military is telling the courts what judgments to make. The military destroyed the farmers' crop during a training exercise and, in turn, charged the farmers with trespass and destruction of military agricultural land. This incident illustrates the reality of the land-grabbing culture practiced by military officers, which has wreaked havoc on the lives and livelihoods of farming communities across Burma. A Farmland Investigation Commission report to the National Parliament states that the Commission has received 26,371 complaints from all regions and states of Burma. Illegal land grabbing without fair compensation has a long history in Burma. To find out more about this, Basil Fernando spoke with Burmese human rights defender Min Win Oo.
Now 450 families, the people have been sentenced to 3 to 6 years of imprisonment in Myanmar.
Yeah.
Now these people are the original owners of their lands.
Yes.
Now somewhere in 1999, these lands were taken over by the military.
Military, yes.
And then for about 14 years, the people throughout Burma fought against the military takeover of land. So as a result, the government made an announcement saying that we will give back the land.
Yes.
So after that, these people went and demanded from the present occupiers to get their land.
Yes.
Now what the occupiers did was to charge them for trespassing and for mischief and file cases in court.
Yes.
So from 2010 to 2014, these cases were there before courts. But suddenly, the government made another announcement saying that they need for government use 350,000 acres of land.
Yes.
After that, the court immediately called these people to court and read from an order made beforehand by the government and sentenced them to prisons.
Yes.
Now, could you explain this situation a little bit?
Yeah. It's 1999 military confiscated over 10,000 acres from this area. It's Upper Burma, Sagaing Division, and Kamlu Township. And then this area is including two parts. One part is sugarcane plantation, and another part's for sugar factories. And then sugarcane plantations first. And then it's around 500 acres, 4 villages. Now 220 villages from 4 villages, they face the trial. And then last week, 65 farmers, they got a sentence, 6 months to up to 3 years. And then they confiscate the land. And then landowner, they became a tenant from the military. And then so military said, you must cultivate only sugar because of we must build up the sugar factory. And then so we need the supply. And so many farmers, they lost their land and they became a tenants by military. Yeah. And then new government came up, 2010s. And then government said, we will release some of the area and some of the lands to the real owner.
Yeah.
And then who can apply for the land registration, something like that.
Okay, now, why did the government go back on the promise? They said that we are going to give back this land to the people.
Hmm.
But now in 2014, they are saying, no, we need this land. Why does this happen?
Because of first time they have a plan for only cultivation. And then now International Monetary Fund and World Bank and Asia Development Bank, and then they against the property, they fight for poverties and improve their farmer lives. And a lot of international monetary funds, around $100 million coming in, they improve the poverty and farmer lives for this project. And that is why military, they don't want to give back their land, and then they will use this money for military purpose.
So, as a result of the money coming to the country
Yes.
for companies, the International Monetary Fund, and all that,
Mhm.
the land prices have gone up.
Yes.
So, as the land prices are going up, the government has changed their mind and they say we will not give this money, the lands, to the poor.
Yes.
So, in fact, the coming of this money from outside is going to impoverish the poor more.
Mm. Yes.
And the even their title to land is going to be lost already.
Yes.
And all these are merely strengthening the same military people, and so there is bound to be more increase of poverty.
Mm.
Now, added to that, now how did the court come to this conclusion? How did the court find these people guilty?
Oh, yeah. It's nearly 2 years before the court, and then a township police and judges, they know who is the real owner. That is why they don't want to decide, and they are delaying, something like that. 2nd July, President speak out to the report to the Parliament. 450,000 acres we confiscated, but 350,000 acres government need to use some of the purpose, not clearly what kind of purpose. He didn't say that. We cannot get up the land. At that time, immediately sending so many cases from the court, and then facing so many farmers to try. It's a only summary try.
Yeah. So virtually, the court is merely carrying out the order from the executive.
Yes.
It is just rubber stamping court.
Mm-hmm.
There is no justice in
No.
these courts.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge himself,
Yes.
I think, has apologized, saying
Yes.
that, well, we have no power.
Mm-hmm.
We simply have to carry out the executive orders.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. 14th of July, and then judge said to the farmers, I am very sorry to say that I have already received the order from executive, and then now I will read out the sentence. And then so many people, I think maybe 18 farmers, they get around 12 minutes, call out the name, and then you trespass one time, 6 months. You trespass 3 times, so you get a 1 year and 6 months sentence like this. And then 65 farmers, now they are sending to the prison and then move to other remote prisons, so far away from this area.
So people have lost their land.
Yes.
They have been imprisoned.
Yes.
And sometimes several members from the same family.
Yes.
So virtually, not only their land rights, but all their basic human rights has been violated.
Mm-hmm.
So I think your plea is that this should be taken up by the international community.
Yes.
And, this matter should be fought for, and that these prisoners must be released and their lands should be given back
Give
to
it
their
back
people.
to farmers. Yeah.
On the 27th of July, a crowd of 150 fanatics attacked a small, peaceful community of 17 Ahmadi families living in Arafat colony on the outskirts of Gujranwala district in the Punjab province of Pakistan. The attack was instigated by a local mosque leader who delivered a hate speech calling for the murder of Ahmadis. 8 houses were burned down, killing 3, including a 55-year-old woman, an 8-year-old girl, and an 8-month-old baby girl. Several others were injured, and a pregnant woman suffered a miscarriage during the attack. A large contingent of police were present, but unwilling to stop the violent mob. No one has, so far, been arrested. While local clergy have been engaging in propaganda against Ahmadis, the federal and provincial governments have consistently failed to counter this and provide security for the minority community. A significant factor behind such attacks is Pakistan's blasphemy laws, which target Ahmadis and negate their rights to freedom of religion. These laws do not define blasphemy clearly, but state that the offense is punishable by death. Anyone can file a blasphemy case, claiming his or her religious feelings have been hurt. The accused are often lynched. Lawyers and judges, defending or acquitting them, have been attacked in the past. These laws have even been used to seize money and other property. The number of blasphemy accusations in Pakistan is rising, according to a 2012 study by Islamabad-based think tank Center for Research and Security Studies. In 2001, there was only one such complaint, but in 2011, there were as many as 80. Recent incidents indicate that 2014 will be a record year. And now, onto an incident in Sri Lanka, which took place on the 4th of August. A meeting at the Center for Society and Religion in Colombo by a group of family members of the disappeared was disrupted by a mob that included several Buddhist monks. Participants had traveled from the north and east of Sri Lanka for the meeting, organized by the Families of the Disappeared Persons, a citizens' organization. The family members had also visited the International Committee of the Red Cross office in Colombo prior to the meeting. According to reports, over 30 family members of disappeared persons, members of civil society organizations and NGOs, several Catholic priests and nuns, as well as members of the diplomatic community, were present when the disruption took place. 2 individuals claiming to be media representatives attempted to enter the meeting, stating that they had been invited through a fax message. As the organizers had not sent any such invitations, the 2 persons were denied entry. The fake fax invitation stated that this meeting was organized to discuss how to give evidence at the international inquiry being held by the United Nations. The provocation appeared to give the false impression that the gathering of the family members of the disappeared was an anti-government activity. Within an hour, 8 Buddhist monks arrived at the premises with another 30 people. They forced their way inside and started shouting in abusive language, disrupting the gathering. This continued for an hour. According to reports, they also shouted death threats at the organizers and others present. The organizers have made several complaints to the police. However, the police have refused to intervene, stating that it was an illegal gathering. It is unlikely that the government will take any legal action against the mob. 2 of the organizers have subsequently received threatening phone calls. Sending in monks with crowds of thugs to disrupt civil society meetings has become regular practice in Sri Lanka. The Asian Human Rights Commission and the meeting organizers are calling on other civil society organizations and the international community to protest against such actions. That is all for this week's Human Rights Asia Weekly Roundup. For more information, log on to www.humanrights.asia. Thank you for watching and see you again next week.